All right, welcome back, everyone, to the CNN Newsroom. I'm Tony Harris. From the finger pointing to actual answers, new information is coming out of a congressional investigation into the massive oil leak in the Gulf of Mexico. Congressional correspondent Brianna Keeler following today's hearings on Capitol Hill. And Brianna, what are you hearing? What are you learning?
There has been some finger pointing, Tony, but really we've been seeing this House subcommittee conducting this third BP hearing, this third oil spill hearing in 2 days. They're really getting to the heart of that question. What happened? What caused this disaster in the Gulf? So this House subcommittee has been conducting an investigation. Members of this committee have gone down to the Gulf. They've done a lot of interviews, collecting documents, collecting different accounts of the explosion and the events that precipitated this disaster. And here's what we learned today during this hearing. First off, that this well, before the explosion, may have failed 2 crucial pressure tests. The other thing, that the safety shutoff device, that blowout preventer we've heard referred to as the BOP here in the last couple of days, was not working properly before the explosion. Listen to what Congressman Henry Waxman, who is the chairman of this full committee, said at the beginning of this hearing.
Transocean, one of the world's largest operator of drilling rigs, says it has no reason to believe that the rig's fail-safe device, called a blowout preventer, was not fully operational. But we have learned from Cameron, the manufacturer of the blowout preventer, that the device had a leak in a crucial hydraulic system and a defectively configured ram.
Wow.
So a leak in the hydraulic system, and obviously something that wasn't configured right, Tony. And we should tell you that these are obviously very much preliminary findings in this congressional investigation, and even members of Congress here admitting that they raise perhaps more questions than answers. But I think it sounds like we are getting perhaps towards some answers.
Yeah, I think you're right. Brianna, you said the well may have failed 2 crucial, I believe you said, pressure tests. Why is that so important? And take some time to walk us through this.
Yeah, and the way they explained it, they've been doing a lot of explaining in layman's terms, very nitty-gritty details here, but the way it was explained by lawmakers and sort of getting some feedback there from these oil executives is what you do as you're testing a well, and this is something that was going on really in the hours before the explosion. You do what's called a positive pressure test, which is basically increasing the pressure within the well. You add fluids to it, it increases the pressure, you're testing the integrity of the well. Well, so far this investigation has found that it did pass those tests, but then there's another one that's called a negative pressure test. And what you do is you decrease the pressure in the well, and this would allow the ability to see if there are leaks in the well, leaks coming through the cement casings. And as it turns out, there were 2 of those tests that showed anomalies. And so they were asking, the lawmakers here were asking the head of BP, the head of Transocean, what does that mean? And what the head of BP said was, it tells you that there's something going on in the well bore that shouldn't be going on. So the question here by folks like Henry Waxman is, okay, well, shouldn't that have raised the idea that maybe you should have stopped well operations? And ultimately, at that point, despite those readings, they did not stop them.
Gotcha. Okay, Brianna Keeler on Capitol Hill for us. Appreciate it. Thank you. A little extra value for you here.